Welcome to Lowcountry View of Hilton Head. My name is Earl Yates, I'm your host. And my guest today is going to be Ryan McAvoy, who is running for, he's a candidate for Ward 3, councilman. And Ryan, I know you have so much to say. You know, of course there's been so much going on with the debates and everything of everyone in Ward 3. Of course there's the key topics like you have them all going on, the LMO, airport expansion. Now, give me your side, your view of what you think is most important for this election.
Most important for this election is a vision that not only the 3rd Ward can see, but a vision that the island can see, that everybody can get into. My vision for the 3rd Ward is to have the lowest crime rate, the entire island. I hope that that would inspire the entire island to have the lowest crime rate on the entire East Coast. A lot of these issues, land management ordinance, runway, the mall, Harbor Town, heritage, these are all important issues to our community. Our way of life is good here. The road to a better future must have safety first. It's this vision that we have all these economic drivers people talk about. Again, it's the airport. These are all, at their base, very economic. And they're being sought out, you know, because times are tough. I think these are reactionary things. We're addressing them as they come instead of, you know, meeting them further down the road. So these are all very economic. 2/3 of our island's total economic output is due to tourism output. 2/3 of our total economic output. The past 13 years, we've had a decline in visitors that come to our island, annual visitors, that is directly correlated to the price of Hilton Head's home value and quality of life. Now there's a powerful link between crime and property value. So I think if we hook onto this vision of being this beacon of shining light on the entire East Coast, where else would you want to take your family? Where else is a business would you feel comfortable bringing your employees, raising your kids on an island that's low in crime? Not only low in crime, but I'm talking about on the entire East Coast. Property value goes up, more people come. I think it's just real basic and we've gotten away from it. A lot of the other issues, like for instance the mall. The mall, I think we should level it. The owners who own the mall, the guys that own the mall, they don't want the money. They don't want the mall, they want the money. I think they should have gone to these places that are moving out to Tanger. Say, hey, we got empty storefronts. How about you sign a 5-year contract, we'll give you the first year free, you pay, you know, lights, you pay the electricity. But now, I think they should level it. I think they should put like a state-of-the-art, like an aquarium, you know, that specializes in like loggerhead, sea turtle, conservation.
So for the most part, you look at the mall as being, turning more of a cultural and low country status, a village, so to speak.
Exactly, exactly. And I think this would be unique because the aquarium, it would be like a cultural center, would be surrounded by our history and our culture. I think it's funny, all this with the LMO, I think the LMO is totally bogus. We already make special exceptions. You know, there's boards and hearings. For example, there's megawatt megawatt lasers that's going to be on the agenda, I think February 27th. And they're going to get approval. Because they want to move across the street and it's not zoned correctly. There's nothing wrong with the LMO. The LMO is just this issue that's being created. The only thing that our LMO does not allow for is high rises on the beach. So if a lot of people are pushing for this LMO, I want you guys to look, you know, 20 years down the road and think about this. There's a lot of issues here, but I want to hear about you as a voter in the 3rd Ward, sir. What do you have? Well, I mean, ask me some questions.
Well, one of my biggest concerns in Ward 3 is certainly the airport expansion. Now, when you look at the airport expansion, how much of effect do you think that's going to take on, say, like the Mitchellville project and things like that?
I think the whole thing's terrible. I think we lose the whole character of our island. I mean, you have the first freedman's village in the entire United States. You have the first compulsory educational system in the entire United States. They're on the U.S. Registry for historical marks. I think this is an unsourced tap that our island does not get into. But I support the runway extension. I'm running a grassroots campaign, and when I knock on doors, the majority of the people who live in the 3rd Ward, they tell me that they want corporate jets. We can already land corporate jets there. But the older people, it's a hassle to drive to Savannah. It's unsafe for them. You know, it's like an all-day affair for them. These are some of the reasons that I get. But do I think it's to forcibly remove members of a family from their home, the St. James Church, and when some of those members, not even included when some of those members, okay, are direct descendants for the first freed men, women, and children in the entire United States. I think if you forcibly remove the church, it's in order to create and further development of a world-class resort, you have a black eye. You recover. I don't know how you recover. I think we need to work more with the St. James Church. We should go and we should say, we should give them a spot in the airport, lease for $1, yours, 99 years. Renew it when that clause comes up. Put in a grandfather clause. I saw something online the other day where they should petition the county to have a little retail spot that they have to pay for so they can sell baskets. They can do whatever they want in their retail space, but for them to give up their spot of land as a sacrifice for the entire community in order for us to move forward without that black eye, you can't ask them to pay for anything, you know?
Well, I find it kind of odd anyway I mean, my opinion, of course, being in Ward 3 to even touch it. Of course, you know, I have family members in St. James, and that's a part of the history that's been on Hilton Head for quite some time.
Exactly.
My family has been here since the late 1500s. And so to think that just because of an expansion of an airport to completely erase a part of history that was here and what actually started the beauty and the growth of Hilton Head, I think would not be in the best interest. But now, besides that, the mall, I think that'd be a little more difficult thing also because you have, like you said, you have owners. It's very difficult, but I'm not against you on leveling it. But you know, when you're talking about if it was my house, you're not going to tell me I need to level my house in order to build a better looking house. I agree. And then on you have Harbortown and every other issue. I think one of the most impactful things that as a town councilman, if you are, that we should focus on is probably in the water department, to where we do still have families that aren't hooked to a community sewage system, which we spoke of earlier, and you are already concerned about that. So that's a very important thing. But I think it's the winner of Ward 3 is certainly going to have their work cut out for them, because there are a lot of huge areas. And I am extremely happy to see how passionate you are about it, and that you are not only viewing it from the standpoint that everyone else is pointing out, but you also have some key issues that you're looking to change that no one else is focused on.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the mall, the owners of the mall, that'll go bankrupt. I mean, if we continue down the same road,
Yes.
we continue down the same road. I mean, maybe these aren't issues that you can raise in a campaign. Maybe,
Yes.
just maybe, we have to realize that we're all in this together,
Absolutely. We're always in
and
it
that we
together.
sink or swim together. I'm offering opposition. I'm offering an alternative to the status quo. You know, engaged, independent, full-time leadership. A strong argument can be made that, like, we don't have a representative, you know, council.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, like I said, Ryan, I appreciate your time.
I appreciate your time. It was great being here.
Absolutely. I mean, I love to see the passion that you have. I mean,
Thank you.
That's going to go a long way for us as an island, for sure.
It will. It will.
Well, this has been the first part of Lowcountry View of Hilton Head. Of course, my name is Earl Yates. I'm your host, and you have Ryan McAvoy, who is a wonderful guy, and And certainly if he earns the seat, I'm sure he'll do well for us.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good night.
Great being here.